Hi, good morning, friends. After 2 days, we are back again, and we have already learned about the natural resources and its development in the first lesson. And now we are entering into the second lesson, that is connected with natural resources. In the first lesson, we gave emphasis to the natural resource called land. How important is the land? We saw it. And now we come to another natural resource, that is about the forest and wildlife. So these two are connected. The wildlife, the wild animals, and the flora, everything, and the forest, the big trees. How important it is for human survival, the forest as well as the wild animals, the different species. So in this lesson, let us see how closely they are connected to the nature and how much we are dependent on each other for our own survival. When we try to expand our domain, other species cease to exist. And when they cease to exist, it also affects the existence of human beings, and slowly the natural calamities occur and human lives are also threatened. So it is for us to live and coexist together for the well-being of the earth. So let us see in this lesson what are the problems that we face, what are the threat to the forest and the wildlife, and how can we do, or what can we do to improve the quality of forest and the wildlife and the ecosystem as a whole. Now take lesson number 2, page number 14. So it is starting with a poem that is taken from Lecture folk song from the state of West Bengal. So here the poet speaks about or sings about the music that he is able to see in every part of the world, in every creature of the world. He is able to see the presence of God. So whether it is in the wind or in the sun or in the small plants that are growing there or the mighty power of the wind, everywhere the poet is able to see the presence of God, the beauty of the nature. So I think we all should have our own songs, should be able to compose our own songs describing the beauty of the nature, seeing the presence of God in every created things. So instead of destroying it, instead of thinking that it is only meant for me, I want to grab it, we must see that beauty of God should remain in the nature, and more people should be able to see it, benefit it, enjoy. That should be our target, that should be our motive. So let us come to this lesson. And as we know, our planet, there are millions of other living beings. So the most important being we may say is a human being. But apart from the human beings, there are millions of other beings living on this planet. So starting with microorganisms and bacteria. So small organisms which we are not even able to see with our naked eyes. We need to use the microscope in order to see such a small creatures living and active on this soil, on this earth. Then there are small plants like lichens, very small, which are growing on top of the rock. And so if you go to the riverside, the stones will have small green type of plants will be there. Not plants, small green color layer will be there. That is called lichens. And huge trees like banyans, everything is living in this earth. And animals like elephants and blue whales, the huge animals, elephant or the blue whale. And this entire habitat that we live in has immense biodiversity. So this earth where we are living, it has got immense means huge biodiversity is there. So the living beings that are found on this earth, there's so much of diversity is there. Some are so small which you cannot even see with our eyes, and some are so huge, several times or bigger than the human beings, or weighing thousands of kgs, huge animals, and such a small seed or such a huge tree. So much of biodiversity is there. Everything is not same. Then we humans, along with all living organisms, form a complex web of ecological system in which we are only a part and very much dependent on the system for our own existence. So we human beings, the plants, the small animals, everything together form a web, form a group that is called ecology. So we are part of that ecology, and without other components of the ecology, we human beings will not be able to survive. So it is very much important for us that they also should survive. Otherwise, our own survivals will be difficult. Then, for example, the plants, animals and microorganisms recreate the quality of the air we breathe. So they recreate the air. So the trees, the plants, the animals, they are able to recreate the air, the quality they create, or improve the quality of the air that we breathe. So if we are able to breathe good air, the trees that are in our surrounding, they are responsible. They are the one providing us clean air. So we should be grateful to them. We should protect them and even improve and increase their number. Then the water we drink, the soil that produces our food, without which we cannot survive. So the air, the water and the soil, all the qualities of these things are improving because of the living organisms, the microorganisms that are there in our surroundings. And forests play a key role in the ecological system, as these are also the primary products on which all other living beings depend. So all these things are required because the living beings depend on one another. Without one another, the quality of another's life will be decreased. So everything is required in order to have a very quality life. In order to live a very quality life, everything is required. We cannot say this is not important, so let us throw it away or destroy it. That should not be the way. If one species is less, then the quality of life comes down a little bit. So that is the problem that the world is facing today. And we said about biodiversity. The whole world is full of biodiversity. What is biodiversity? We already said. So it is different species, the animal species and the plant species living together, a variety of species living together, and each one is depending on another. That is called biodiversity. So the human beings are there, the animals are there, the plants are there, the microorganisms are there. All these, they live together depending on each other. That is called biodiversity. Diversity means having difference. So everything is different from each other, but they depend on each other. So they are different from each other, but at the same time they depend on each other. One cannot survive without the other. That is called biodiversity. So there is a lot of plants and animals are there, making this earth richer and richer, enriching and helping us to survive. So that is called biodiversity. Now let us come to the flora and fauna in India. What is the flora and fauna in India? Flora and fauna in India. What is this flora and fauna in India? So if you look around, you will be able to find that there are some animals and plants which are unique in your area. In fact, India is one of the world's richest countries in terms of its vast array of biological diversity and has nearly 8% of the total number of species in the world, estimated to be 1.6 million. So in the whole world it is estimated that 1.6 million species are there, both flora and fauna. Flora means plants, fauna means animals. So altogether 1.6 million species are there in the world, and out of this 8% we will find in India. So we can be proud of that. India is a land which supports the growth, the life of flora and fauna. So comparing to other countries, India is better. Then this is possibly twice or thrice the number yet to be discovered. So we have discovered, or in the world it is discovered, only 1.6 million species, but all the species growing in different corners, nook and corners in the jungles, and so is not yet discovered. So if we calculate everything and if we find out everything, then the number may be 2 times more or 3 times more still. So whatever is found out, whatever is recognized, we say 1.6 million. So but what is not yet found out, what is not yet recognized, maybe still much more. So that is the reality. And you have already studied in detail about the extent of variety of forests and wildlife resources in India. So we have already studied about the wildlife in India. And you may have realized the importance of these resources in our daily life. These diverse flora and fauna are so well integrated in our daily life that we take these for granted. But lately they are under great stress, mainly due to insensitivity to our environment. So when we look around, we find a lot of plants are growing there carefree. We don't care for them much, we don't protect them much. We see them and they are there in our surroundings, and so we take it for granted. We think we no need to care for them, they will survive there. But if we are very insensitive to them, if we are not taking care of them, then the trees will be destroyed slowly. They will come to an end. The species may not be able to survive. So we need to take care, we need to protect the environment, and we need to show some of our extra care. We need to show them that they need for our survival. So human insensitivity or human lack of interest or lack of care can destroy our environment. And some estimates suggest that at least 10% of India's recorded wild flora and 20% of its mammals are on the threatened list. So there are records are there, lists are there, that we said India has got 8% of the world species in India. But though there are so many species available in India, but some of them are under threat. They are about to be destroyed, about to be completely eliminated from our country. So 10% of flora is under threat. So that flora we are not taking care and is slowly getting destroyed. Then 20% of its mammals means animals. So the 20% of India's animals are also under threat. So we need to take care of these forests, plants and animals. And many of these would now be categorized as critical, that is on the verge of extinction, like cheetah, pink-headed duck, mountain quill, forest spotted owlet, and plants like Maduka insignis and Habardia and heptaneuron. So all these are some of the examples of the animals and the plants that are about to be exterminated, about to be destroyed. There are very few pieces are left, maybe here and there. So some of them are completely over already, no more found in India, like cheetah and so on, completely is already dead and gone, no more found in India. And if you are not careful, then the same things will happen to other species as well. Afterwards, India will be very poor. Now we are proud that we have got this many percentage of the wildlife and flora we have in India. After some time, we will be worse than the other countries if we are not taking care. Then, in fact, no one can say how many species may have already been lost. Today, we only talk of the larger and the more visible animals and plants that have become extinct. But what about smaller animals like insects and plants? So we speak about the animals that are already identified, the species that are already identified. But there are, as we said, millions of species and small creatures are there, bacteria and other things which are not yet identified. What about them? We are not counting them, we are not able to calculate, we are not able to see whether they are already there or not. So there are millions of species are there which are not identified. So we do not know whether they still exist or not, whether they are in large number or small in number, not yet identified. There's a small box, information is given there. Do you know? Do you know that among the larger animals in India, 79 species of mammals, 44 of birds, 15 of reptiles and 3 of amphibians are threatened. So, as India has got a lot of species, some of them are threatened. 79 species of mammals, animals are threatened. 44 species of birds are threatened. 15 species of reptiles are threatened. And 3 of amphibians are also threatened. So these animals, their life is in threat. Amphibians means small creatures like frogs. The speciality of them is they live on the land but they breed in the water. That is called amphibians. So frog is an example. And 1,500 plant species are considered endangered. So out of the total plant species, 1,500 of them are seem to be endangered or considered as endangered. They are no more found, or there are very few pieces are found. And flowering plants and vertebrate animals have recently become extinct at a rate estimated to be 50 to 100 times the average expected natural rate. So some of the plants that we have, the plants that are giving flowers, and vertebrate animals. Vertebrate animal means the animals that are having backbone, they are called vertebrate. So these species, they have become extinct very fast, 550 times or 100 times faster than what is happening in other parts of the world. In India, their extinction is very fast, 5 times or 10 times faster than other places that is happening. That is the reality that we are facing today. So we need to be aware about it, and we need to think from my own side, what can I do? Maybe that I can encourage others not to destroy the species or to protect them, not to go for killing, not to destroy them, instead take care of them or plant more species and so on. So as we have got this knowledge, we have got the education, we have to teach others, we have to tell others what they are expected to do. So that is our duty, our responsibility. Otherwise, as the years are passing by, the world become a strange planet, and the future generations, they will have no idea about what are some of the species that were alive on this earth years ago. So it is our duty to protect our nature, protect our land, and preserve it for the future generations as well. Now let us come across different types of forests. We said we had so many species, but some of them are already vanishing or disappearing. Let us see what are the planets that are in India that are found disappearing or vanishing. So vanishing forests. The dimensions of the deforestation in India are staggering. Staggering means really incredible. The way the forests are disappearing, it is incredible, unbelievable. Very fast the forests are getting destroyed. The forest and the tree cover in the country is estimated at 78.92 million hectares, which is 24.01% of the total geographical area. That is dense forest 12.24%, open forest 8.99%, and mangrove is 0.14%. So out of the total area, the total estimated area is 78.92 million hectares. So that if you divide, that is the total forest, and if you can divide into different types, what is the dense forest, how much it is, then open forest, that is not so dense, and some are mangrove planted by people here and there, trees. So these are the three types forests we can divide. All together put, we have 78.92 million hectare areas are under forest. Then according to the State of Forest report, the dense forest cover has increased by 10,098 square kilometers since 1997. So according to the government report, we say the dense forest area has been increased. And however, this apparent increase in the forest cover is due to plantation by different agencies. So what is the reason for the increase of this dense forest? There are so many agencies are they providing assistance to the people to improve or to protect the nature, and they themselves take initiative by supplying the tree seeds, plants, saplings, and they go around planting it. They convert more areas, and wherever the trees are cut, they try to plant more trees. That way, so many agencies are there, NGOs are there, because of their cooperation, because of their initiative, the country is able to increase the area of dense forest. And let us now understand the different categories of existing plants and animal species. So let us come to know about the existing plants and the animal species. Based on the International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, we can classify as follows. So there is an organization, international organization, in order to conserve nature and natural resources. That is the organization. And what is the full form? International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. You can learn the short form also. Sometimes they'll ask what is the full form of IUCN. International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. So according to this organization, they have classified species into different categories. Let us see what are they. First one is normal species. Normal species. What's meaning normal species? That means species whose population levels are considered to be normal for their survival. So we see there enough number is there, their life is not threatened, their species can survive. For example, cattle, sal is a name of a tree, then pine tree, and so on. Then rodents. What is rodent? It's an animal. So there are enough species are there still existing, and therefore that is not threatened. There is no danger to them. There are sufficient number is alive on this earth. Then second type of species we can say endangered species. endangered. That means they are in danger. So these are species which are in danger of extinction. So they are in danger. If you do not take care, then their number will come down more and more, and afterwards they will not be found again. So they are in danger. The survival of these species is difficult if the negative factors that have led to a decline in their population continue to operate. So those agencies or that factors are continuing. Maybe it is because people are going for hunting, or maybe people are cutting down to make garden and so on. So if those activities, those negative activities are continuing, then they will be completely destroyed and removed from the earth. So we have to be careful, because they are already in danger, and if we continue with that same human activities, then afterwards those species will not be found anymore. And the examples of such species are black buck. So the animal black buck is a kind of deer. If that is in danger, not found much now. And crocodiles are also, the number is becoming less. Then Indian wild ass, that also is getting reduced. Then Indian rhino, lion-tailed macaque, that is a